Hello student. In this tutorial we will try to learn that how we can install the Python. Let me tell you that we are having various options to write code in Python. One of the very simple and easiest approach is uh, if you not install Python, then go to the python.org. Okay, and then go to the download section. Okay, now here you can download version. Okay, if you want to download a specific version, then here they have given the uh, previous version. So from this you can download whatever version you want. So after downloading that exe file, okay, you have to simply run that file, so Python will be installed. So once the Python is installed, then you will get this kind of icon, okay, to your system. Now to write a code in Python, we are having various approach. Okay, we can go with the uh, Python idle, that is a very simple and uh, primary level, or you can say entry level editor provided by python.org itself. It is part of framework. Another option is that you can use the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so there is a website code.visualstudio.com. So you can go to that website, and on that website simply click on download for window. Okay, so once you are done with that, then simply run the installer, so it will install the Visual Studio. And once you are done with the Visual Studio Visual Studio Code installation, okay, then open the IDE. And then in IDE, here you will get icon for extension. Okay, so just go to extension, and in extension, in search bar, you are supposed to type Python. Okay, so here once you will type Python, okay, then the first link you will get the extension for Python. So here uh, you have to click on install, so it will install the Python extension for Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is how it will work. Now how to check whether it is properly installed or not. Okay, so for that, write a statement like print hello world. Okay, and here run Python file in terminal. Okay, so if you will click on that file, then here you can see that you will get the output. That means Python is properly installed into your system. Another approach, and which is recommended by me, okay, that is Anaconda. Okay, so there is a website anaconda.com. So go to that website, then click on get started. So on the screen here you will get various links. So we are supposed to go to the last option, install Anaconda individual edition. Okay, and then click on download. Okay, so here based on your operating system and based on your version preference, you can download any installer. Now if you are going with the Anaconda, then there is no need to download Python separately. Python is already part of Anaconda. Okay, so just install the Anaconda. Okay, and after installing Anaconda, go to the start menu and type Anaconda. Okay, so you should get Anaconda Navigator. So click on Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so you will get an IDE where from where we can use the Anaconda. Now why I will prepare this Anaconda, because in future if you are going to work with the machine learning, artificial intelligence, or some concept like deep learning, then statistical analysis, data science, okay, at that time this Anaconda will be helpful. Now if you will open the navigator, okay, then you will get this kind of screen. Now here our concern is Jupyter Notebook, okay, so you will simply click on Jupyter Notebook launch, and it will be open in web browser. Okay, so this is how it will look like. So after getting this, you have to click on new Python 3. Okay, so you will get an this kind of IDE. Make sure that your kernel should be ready. Okay, so this icon here, if it is pause or it is play, then your kernel is not ready. So here you can check whether your kernel is properly running or not, or you can restart the kernel. So if you will simply click on it, then it will go the message, and here you can see restart the kernel ready, and now again we are having kernel. So what is the advantage of this IDE? This IDE will help us to execute individual statement. So at introductory level, this won't make any difference, okay, but once we will try to learn some larger programs, at that time what will happen, we will write multiple line of code. Okay, so if you want to find out that in which line there is a problem, at that time this IDE will be helpful to you. Okay, so let me show you one example. Okay, so let's say in some other IDE we will write it a equals to 10, then b equals to 20, and then print a comma b. Okay, so here what happened, we didn't have any idea that how everything is working properly or not. Okay, so let's say here we are writing, okay, and here we are putting some other thing. So here this IDE will give us idea that in which line there is error. Okay, so it is showing that there is error in line number 3, and what is type of error? Unsupported operand, means we cannot perform the addition of a and b. Okay, so in other program or in others, you can say IDE, what will be the problem, that it will execute entire code, and then it will tell you that in this line there is error. Okay, while here we can write this code step by step like this. Okay, so how we will run this code? To run this code we have to use shift enter. Okay, so if we are getting the next line, okay, that means that this code is executed properly. Now if we are writing like this, hello 1 2 3, okay, if we try to execute this statement, then it will say this is an invalid syntax. Okay, while in other IDE what will happen, you have to write the continuous program, and then your interpreter will tell you that in which line there is error. Okay, so if there is any error, then you can correct it. Okay, and then simply again press shift enter. Okay, so it is not showing any message. This means these are the executed, and similarly you can execute any number of statement one by one. Okay, this Jupyter Notebook will be helpful specifically while you are working on data science or machine learning applications, where you will use some framework like pandas, then keras, okay, scikit-learn, tensorflow. So in those kind of library, whenever you are using at that time, this kind of line by line debugging will help us to find the problem. Okay, so I personally recommend you people to go with the Anaconda Jupyter. Okay, so this Jupyter Notebook will help us to easily keep the track of our program. Okay, now here if you want to change the name of the file, then you can say, you can change, let's put today's date 0505 2020. Okay, so rename. Okay, so it is saved now. Okay, it is saved. Now let's say we are closing it. In future, if you want to again open it, okay, let's say you want to see the previously stored file. Okay, so here it is, file, So if you will click on it, then you will have your entire file. Okay, now here whenever this file will be stored, extension of this file will be .ipynb. My ipy means interactive python notebook. So in next tutorial we will try to see some feature of what is interactive python, and how this notebook can be helpful. If you want to export this code to file, okay, then you can do it. So go to the file and then download as python.py file. Okay, so it will be converted into .py file, and then you can open it. Okay, so let me try to open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here you can see the lines marked with the hash are the comment line. Okay, and these are the statement: a equals to 10 and b equals to hello. Okay, so if you will execute it from here, then also you will get the same output. So let's do one example just for comparison. So here I will try to print both value, print a comma b. Okay, 10 and hello. Okay, value of a is 10 and b is hello. Now I will try to export this file as a python. Keep. Now let us open it into the Visual Studio Code, and then we will execute it. Yes, here you can see we are getting the output 10 and hello. Okay, so whether you write code into this IDE or you write code into the Jupyter notebook, it won't make any difference, but this will allow us to debug the code, as well as whenever we are working with some graphical tools, like we are creating some graphs. Okay, so at that time this tool will be helpful. So it will show us the graph into this file only, and this file we can give it to someone else. So this is the introduction to Python installation. Okay, so this is how you can install and keep ready Python in your system, and we will discuss more in next tutorial. Okay, in next tutorial we will start with the hello world and some basic data types of Python. Thank you.